Hello everyone, welcome back, and it's the next morning and we've just shuffled stuff around to get ready to go out contracting that wheat and rye field later on today. So we just moved the combine over to the service area, and if we hop in, see it says inspection completed at 8 o'clock. So we're just running a check on it, making sure everything's okay, and then we'll be out in the fields. But in the meantime, we just dragged the header out here this morning. Got to get a few things changed around. We've got the 8910 hooked up to the fertilizer spreader. I think there's already some fert in it. So we're going to just head out and do some grass fields this morning. Not sure how far this fertilizer will go, but we'll do these ones close by, see how we get on. And yeah, I think if we plan to put nitrogen down after every grass harvest, and then we'll try to limit the lime to once a year, because well, we'll get down here, but yeah, I think lime depletes less than fertilizer. I think that's how it works. But yeah, if we just check the... Yeah, so you see the pH value's still good and nitrogen's bad, so after this next harvest that pH value will go down to okay. So we don't want to be going past there really. And then by the time we're done with all of this, we should be ready. The wheat should have dried off enough to get harvesting. And I forget how wide this is without any lime in it. Or rather with fertilizer in it, because it broadcasts it a lot wider than with lime. So yeah, we'll just crack on, see how we get on, and I'll catch you a bit later in the process, I think. Okay, that was nice and painless, and we should have enough to do all of our fields based on that. I think we only ticked down like 2 or 3% of the capacity. So yeah, we're good there. See, our corn's growing up nicely. I mean, the texture on this map, the Benji FS texture, does have a lot of the sort of weeds and foliage in between, so that's you can't weed that as normal weeds in the game, so we already did all the weeding we can do. And I guess you could just think of it as the corn's all grown up high enough to not be too affected now. It's all emerged at least. So yeah, we'll crack on with this, and then after we finish these 2 fields, we'll give Nate by the town over at the farm over at the town, give Nate a call and see if he can come up and help us move equipment over to the contract fields, which are by town. So that should be good. Yeah, we'll be done in no time, so hopefully we'll have everything over there by maybe, I don't know, 11ish, I want to say. But probably by then the crop will be dry enough to harvest. Obviously there's no moisture simulation or anything in Farming Simulator, certainly that I'm playing with, so it's purely for trying to be a bit more realistic, we'll say. Now what we're going to do here is actually turn that off, and we'll back into the corner here just to see whether that'll work better than trying to drive in forward and turn around really tight. Should be good. So we'll get to about there. And we should have left enough that it will cover everything. Yeah, looking at the yield map or the precision farming data down the bottom, that's fine. There we go. So just those, just that little top field to go, and then we should be good to start taking stuff over. So we've obviously got the combine, the white with the bigger of the two gravity wagons I think we'll use, and I don't know what would tow the header trailer best, because I know the combine does have a hitch on the back, but it seems like that's not nearly as commonly done in the US than it is in Europe, so I'm not sure really. But we've been, in the past, we've tried to use a different tractor to tow the header trailer, just because. Again, this cab is a bit annoying to see, but we made it fine without getting demolished by the train. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you up at the field, and we'll give Nate a call when we're up there, see when he can come over to help. I think this field probably can be done in 2 passes, but I reckon I've just started too close to that hedge, so we'll do a bit of a wiggle. Not very professional, but there we go. Okay, let's get back to the yard and get ready to start moving stuff, and we might actually be a little bit earlier than 10 o'clock, but we'll just have to check the moisture when we're over there, because it's a bit overcast. It's not too great, and we did have rain sometime in the last couple of days, I think, but everything should be drying out now at least. Right, we've just got to run this down out of the way, really. We'll get some stuff unhitched and swapped over, ready to head out. So sometime in the future, I'd obviously like for the meantime, we're not doing anything large enough scale to warrant that kind of spending. So these wagons do fine. There we go, and we'll unhitch the one on the John Deere chassis and just get this up to the top of the yard. Oh, and we've still got an indicator on the case. Can't be having a flat battery. And I think we've solved, or we've got an idea at least for our pig food dilemma. So I'm going to play around with that a bit, and you might see that in a video soon. Now this one, we've got plenty of diesel, but we might as well get it to the front and get it filling up, and then we'll see. Combine inspection should be just about finished by now. Yeah, okay, so we found one damage on, which brings our total just to 1. So that's not anything to worry about, really. We can get out and do this harvest and then worry about that. We'll try to maybe get a repair in before we do our own corn and beans later on in the year. But for now, and this one really does need diesel, so get this in the queue here. Pop out, and we'll probably just put the white over the road. Just somewhere where we can get everything ready to move out. It should do fine. We'll leave that ticking over there. And this one's going to take a lot longer, a lot more diesel to fill it up. Where is the tank? I presume it's up on the back here. So we'll run it forward quite a bit. Switch it off and get refueling. We'll also have to fold those steps in for going down the road. Okay, I'll see you when this is done. Okay, so I've just been speaking to Nate again, and what we've actually worked out a plan, so he hasn't quite left yet, is I'm going to take the case with the header trailer here. We're going to drive that round to the fields, and then he'll pick me up in his truck, and we'll both drive back here, and then he can leave his truck here, and we'll go over together with the combine and the white. He can probably just follow up the combine with the white, and that'll be best. So we'll get going here. And as fun as it would be to take the little Model A over, and sometimes we've done it in the past, it is basically the other side of the map, so maybe not ideal. It's always nice to give it a spin though. Yeah, this one drastically needs diesel as well, so we'll see if the combine can be moved. Yeah, that's all full, and again we'll just get the order correct here. Put this in front of the white, and we need to switch that white off, I've just remembered. So turn this off, fold these steps up. Yeah. And yeah, that's not really stuck out too much, is it? That's fine. Hopefully it does brighten up a bit, because it's a little on the cloudy side, but we might just have to leave it a bit longer to dry everything out. Okay, we've got the case all fueled up, so we're ready to head down there now, and I'll catch you once we're down there nicely. Well, actually, we'll get picked up by Nate. We'll see you back at the farm here when we're ready to convoy over. Okay, we're back up here. We've got Nate here in the white, and he's going to hopefully follow us down in the combine. So we'll get headed out. This is a bit awkward with these steps like that. There we go. And now this is my first time using Follow Me since, well, I don't know, certainly never used it in 22. So hopefully it works. There we go. And I don't know whether he'll turn his hazards on or not. Either way, that's all being followed fine, and we are going to take the long way on the back roads just for simplicity's sake, so we don't get hung up on any cars or anything. Although it does mean we'll have to go through town, so I'm not sure whether that's better or worse. But yeah, all looking good. I can't quite zoom back in far enough to see him. We might... I can't remember if there's a way to get him to drive a little bit closer from our point of view here, so we might try. I'll have to look at in the settings menu to see what keybinds there are. Follow me, here we go. Follower changed it. Okay, so right shift, right control, S and W. Simple enough. Ooh, and we don't want him to crash into us. Now he's dropped back again. Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we've got some idea anyway. I think if we get to this junction up here, we'll go have a chat with Nate and try to control the follow me stuff from in that tractor there. Oh, I don't know, that's close enough for my liking at least. That's alright. We'll just check the distance though. Okay, so that's only 5, waiting due to detected collision, right? So we'll set this back a little bit actually to like 15 and just deal with that. It's good that it does that, because I'm sure the last time I used it, it wasn't quite as advanced. Anyway, we'll get going and get down to the field. And if we look on the map there, there's Nate. We've got the name and everything, so that's all good. Okay, we're just coming up to Nate's place now. And as you can see, it's just ticked over to 11 o'clock. So that's all fine. We'll be ready to get straight to it when we head down there. And now comes the difficult bit of heading through town. But luckily the roads seem quite quiet so far, and we're driving the combine, which is obviously a lot wider than the tractor, so any place we can get through, it should be fine. Okay, we're just down here. Nate's just waiting for us to get the combine all hooked up and set up, and then he'll be ready to go. So we've got to unfold the ladder again, and then we can get in, put the PTO on and all the hydraulic lines, and then unfold the header. And now we should be about ready to go. I think we'll try course play for this actually, so bear with a sec. Okay, so we got our course play course all set up, which I'm still really rusty on that, but I think if we just cut in a little bit. So there's the start point. So if we go to first waypoint, press start, and then that'll be the course. So we can turn that off. And yeah, this is the rye field and it's filling up pretty quick. So we seem to be dropping straw. I don't know whether that's a course play setting or not, but anyway, shouldn't matter too much because we're not going to collect the straw. So we can see Nate's in there doing his thing, that's all fine. So we'll hop out, go over to the white, and yeah. And I did slow down time while we figured out course play, so we'll put that back up to where we should be at 6 times speed. And we'll get ready to start running the grain cart. Now, I'm going to have to make a bet on where he's going to get to before filling up. So I think we'll drive down to the other end of the field. This is quite a nice one that just runs alongside the railroad. And our other contract field full of wheat is just the one behind it. Just, you see there, the gateway to it at the end of this lane. So I'm not sure where Nate is currently, but we'll come up to this top end. Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll come up to the top end and wait for him here. Okay, so Nate nearly made it, but not quite. So we're going to have to just... He's nicely cut in for us here, so we don't need to drive into the hedge, which is all good. So yeah, our estimate was nearly correct, but not. There we go. He's all empty, I think. And there we are. Now, I don't know. I might try... We just back this up. We'll try turning around in this gap he's left. Lots of stuff moving at the moment. There we are. We come around here. And yeah, I just confirmed with the farmer we're doing this for, and he says he doesn't mind the straw being left, so that's all good. Now, we're already 41%. This rye is really high yielding, so we might try to just run alongside of Nate here. And it's been a while since I worked with anyone. to be a bit closer. There we are. Yeah, that's pretty tight with this 25-foot head, but just about okay. So we'll run all the way alongside. And then head and sell this straight away, because we're only selling it to this. I've got to check, but I think it's only going to the grain elevator here. Oh, we've overshot a bit. Luckily, Nate is wise enough to turn the auger off rather than spilling it all on the floor. And let's try to find a gear that we can actually trail alongside with, and it looks like it's between yeah, about under third here. We can just about keep up. I think second will probably be too low. Yeah, and then first in D, that's also slightly too slow, so yeah. Not sure actually. It's going to take some playing around with, and got to apologise for being such an awful driver while we actually experiment. But yeah, we'll let him get to the corner here, and we'll shoot off and unload. I'll actually use the speed limiter to... We're getting really close here. That's it. Okay. It's a tiny bit spilt, but not to worry. So yeah, 2 loads and we're 3/4 full, so as it's just so close we might as well head on up. And it is quite heavy. The 8910 maybe would have pulled better, but it is what it is. Yeah, if it wasn't for the railroad tracks, we could literally just dump it all in there. Well, that and the weigh scales, which we're coming up to. So one change I did make on the map is we just added a set of scales down by the corn dryer as well, or so we don't need to keep driving to this main point. Here we go. Stop on the scales, let them weigh. And now we'll head round the back and dump in, and I will just, before we tip, I'll check it is the right sell point. And then I don't know afterwards whether you'd need to weigh your empty weight or not. I've never done any arable farming and selling to elevators or anything to know, but you'd think that if they weighed you full and empty, then that would allow them to actually calculate how much stuff there was. Right, go to the contracts. Okay, so this one says the grain sell point. This one currently says the grist mill, which are our pig food things. So that's a downside of having those productions. And I am going to get rid of them and change them out. But what I'll do for the time being is I'll just go into the XML and change that sell point to be the grain sell point here, which I thought it was when I booked the contract, just because it's going to be impossible to, well, and unrealistic to sell it all to ourselves really. But the rye should be fine, and yeah, the money's not ticking down, so we can actually get both doors open. We go to here, wait for that to fold back up, and then tip side left. And there we are, that's both of them down. The combine will probably be filling up quite soon, so we've taken a while. Yeah, we'll get back out there, and then I'll see you nearer the end of the field probably, so we'll do most of it off camera. Here we are, let's wind these up and we'll get going. And look at that, we literally just caught him here. It flashed up needs to be unloaded right when we got to him, so that was perfect timing as it turns out. And oh, we're off again. Oh, wasn't prepared for that. So we'll try to get a point where he's not going to hit the tyre there, which looks like it's just kind of on this line of straw. Going 4 miles an hour is too fast. Or 4 on the preset, I guess. I think there is a mod that allows you to synchronise speed, that might be quite useful, but okay, having it set to 3 and actually going 4 seems to be about the case. Now, something that annoys me with this trailer is it kind of, yeah, flips between unloading properly and doing it like on top of the fill plane weirdly, so yeah. Anyway, we'll just get on with this. I think the grain tank's unloaded now, so yeah, we'll just run it down to the corner like we did anyway and then go back up the top, and that'll be working fine. Actually, I think this is the last of the 2 headlands, come to think about it, so he'll be doing up-down rows soon anyway, and we'll figure a pattern out. Right, okay, I forgot we were going to sort of do diagonal rows on the plan, so that's alright. We'll let him get on with it, and then we'll drive the tractor over when he's a bit more full. But it's all going well so far. I think we found ourselves a good worker. Okay, so we've just finished off this field. There's a few tiny little patches left, but nothing too bad really. So we've just got to head over to the elevator there and sell this, and then we'll be all good. It's a bit steep here actually, but we're less than half loaded, so that'll be fine. And then what I'll do is I'll probably end the episode and we'll do that backfield off camera once I've fiddled around with the XML. I would set Nate off straight away on that backfield, but we'll just wrap up the video here before I sort all of that out, so we'll get a decent ending. But yeah, I'll have to obviously reload the game when I make the changes to the contract, so we'll do that all behind the scenes. But yeah, good start to the... I don't really know if it's not quite the start to the contracting year, I guess, but it's really, really good that contracts are back. Because I was really worried we'd have to wait until next year completely. But that's not the case, so we can get the money rolling in, and I'm not sure, we'll see how profitable these harvesting contracts are going to be, because I've stopped doing the loaning equipment thing, but we are now paying Nate for his time, so it'll be a bit of a bonus in one sense, but then that money and probably more will immediately be taken back out. So we'll head over. I think we're actually on 99% full in the kind of the amount delivered. So again, we'll have to refund the extra and then do some maths to just see. There we are. So yeah, that finished almost immediately, and now we've got the money coming in that we'll take back out with easy dev tools. So that's 14.55. There we are, perfect. Contract income, where's that? Here. Oh, and of course it's still June, so yeah. Okay, never mind. I thought that because it was the next day it would get split up, but that's just lumped in with all of our haymaking contracts anyway, so we'll just leave it here and we'll catch you in the next video after we've done harvesting that backfield and potentially got a few more contracts lined up or something else to do. So right, yeah, cheers.